Meandering around, not sure exactly what to do. As we're doing it, when Neil go, this is exactly what we want. He sends Barry Foster in motion. Now there's nobody in the backfield. This is way before there was this no back frenzy that exists now. We were way ahead of the game. So we ended up getting Barry Foster. Next we know, Barry Foster's out of the backfield. We snap the ball. Everybody's running around, and at the last minute, Barry Foster breaks open. He's open at the minute, but Neil hesitates, can't believe he's that open, throws it, and that little bit of hesitation, Dennis Gibson from the San Diego Chargers leaps, runs out, and knocks and tips the ball, and the ball drops incomplete. And at this time, all you can see is everyone in the stand standing up, sitting down. And you're going to hear this big, oh my gosh, the game was over. And as that silence came, all you could hear on the other side was the San Diego Chargers sitting there and just jumping up and down because the first time in team history, the San Diego Chargers had won the Super Bowl. When that game was over, I went over and congratulated Bobby Ross, wished him nothing but the best, represented our conference well. I went in to the locker room, told our players, there's nothing I can say to you right now that's going to ease the feelings that you have. I just want you to say this. You've done more for this city in this 1 year than has been done in multiple years. You walk out of here with your head held high. You played hard and did everything you could and put yourself in the position that you did. This is not the end. This is the start. Come in tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We'll talk about the offseason. I walked into the coach's locker room. Again, there's nothing but silence. I told the coaches that it was the best coaching staff in America. What they did with the group of guys we had was remarkable. They got the most out of them. They were prepared every week. And I wouldn't trade any of those guys for any other staff or member in the National Football League. Coming in tomorrow at 9, we'll talk about the offseason. I then walked out of that room. I went down. I had to go in my office. I saw Mr. Rooney. I said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Rooney." He gave me a pat on the shoulder. I'm sorry for letting you down. And the city. We'll be back. He just gave me a little pat. I walked over to my wife and she gave me one of those pecks in the cheeks. Just like, hang in there. I said, thanks. I walked over, my two older daughters were there. My oldest one, Megan, was 10. And Lauren was 8. My youngest one was still at home at 5. And Meg looked up to me and she said, Dad. I said, yeah, Meg. She said, why didn't you give the ball to Barry Foster? He could have got $2. Megan and Lauren goes, Megan, Mom said not to say that to Dad right now. Megan said, Lauren, you said the same thing in the booth. Girls, you know what? In hindsight, maybe I should have. But you will learn in life and sometimes in sports. You learn from your decisions. And sometimes those things happen. But I feel very comfortable with what we did. Well, sorry, Dad. I know, it's a tough game to lose. I said, that's okay. And, you know, we got dressed, waited for the crowd to kind of leave the parking lot, drove home. A little bit of awkward silence at times. It's been a good year. And my gosh, let's look at the big picture. As hard as it is right now, it's been a good year. Yes, what it could have been, but let's look at the positive. So we pull into the driveway and, you know, one more daughter to think about and to kind of console. Get out of the car, and as getting out of the car in the garage, I hear this music playing inside, and I walk inside, and Lindsay, our 5-year-old, has got this hula skirt on, and she's dancing around the table to this music. And I said, Lindsay, what are you doing? She goes, Dad, we get to go to Hawaii in the Pro Bowl. I said, no, Lindsay, we wanted to go to Florida and in Miami because that's where the Super Bowl is. She goes, we've already been to Florida. We've never been to Hawaii. That's perspective. But you know, Never forget your roots. Be thankful for what you have. And embrace each day. I know it's not always easy, but your attitude is a choice. You always love to be around energetic, confident, caring people. See, I think life is about perspective. How you feel and how you act all starts with how you think. And when it's all said and done, I believe there's two types of hardworking people. There are successful people. They enjoy what they do and they exude that feeling. They touch and influence a lot of people along the way. They embrace the entire process of growth. Then there's people who have success. Success that our society measures as money, status, control. Now these people have pretty much sacrificed more than they've cherished. Morals and relationships. They're generally lonely people that have it all. And so at the end of the day, I hope each and every one of you can walk away and know that you're successful people. Because it's not about what you accomplish, it's about the people you touch along the way. Thank you. I'll open up to any questions anybody has about anything. I know you're not as bad as I used to be. Ask anything.
Yeah, why did you retire from football?
Why did I retire from football?
From coaching.
From coaching, right. And I guess there's a window of time you have to spend with your kids. My oldest daughter was playing basketball at Princeton. She was going to be a senior that year. My youngest one, my middle one, just graduated. She was a senior, and she was getting ready to play basketball as a freshman, so they were going to play together. And I think there's a window of time that you have to spend with your kids. Not that I ever neglected them before. I was at every one of their matches, and we used to talk at nights. But I want to spend more time with them. It really came down to that. It was, like I said, you can always go back to coaching, but you can't always go back to spending that time with your kids. And I think most parents will realize that.
James might come and coach the Panthers.
I like what they did. I mean, Jerry went out and he got some players in free agency. It's just a tough division. I mean, honestly, when you look at the division, my gosh, I don't know if there's a tougher division in football. I mean, New Orleans with Drew Brees, Matt Ryan is in Atlanta, and Tampa Bay is now, Josh Freeman is a pretty good quarterback. And so, it's a tough division. I mean, I think Cam's going to be successful. I think the lockout may hinder him a little bit early, unfortunately, for a lot of young players, particularly if they're counting on him. And I don't know where they're going to go with that. But, they brought back D'Angelo, which I think was a great move. So, I mean, I think Jerry did a lot of really good things in Carolina. And you never know. It's going to be a battle of attrition. I think this is going to be a year. It's going to be hard to see because I think, again, injuries, you can see them all the time. And when injuries in the past have always been part of it, but you've been able to kind of train players. Younger players are not going to have much time to learn systems. So your depth is very much affected. So the veteran teams, unfortunately, have decided to make it this year.
Coach, when Chuck Amato left NC State, it was highly rumored that you might be a candidate for that. And were you a candidate? And if so, why did you decide against that?
I guess I've been a candidate every year in a few places. When you become a candidate, it doesn't mean that you are interested. People they present the candidacy to you. You suddenly have been a candidate here. And it was flattering. I love NC State. I know that with the chancellor, I think Tom O'Brien is an outstanding football coach. You know, I didn't leave Pittsburgh. I could have stayed in Pittsburgh. I could still be there. I left of my own choice. I left a really good organization. So I think the thing people don't realize is I didn't leave the game to get back into it. I left it because it was just time. Would I come back? I don't know. You know, I think the one thing is my whole life has been so structured. I'm looking forward thinking. I'm really kind of embracing this concept of just kind of each day, each year, I've been spending some quality time with my kids. So I got a good job at CBS. You know, it's an unbelievable job. I haven't lost a game in 4 years. And I get to coach 32 teams every Sunday. I mean, it's awesome. So, you know, so I have a good job. But it doesn't mean at some point I wouldn't go back. I feel great. Love, you know, and I've not coached collegiately. Not that you can't do it. I think coaching's coaching. I think being successful is being successful at whatever level it is. It is a mindset. It's preparation. It's kind of throwing yourself into something and being passionate about it. And being as good as you can be. And, you know, if I ever decided to go back into it, it would not be for anything more than, you know, wanting to win a championship somewhere at some level. And I would never be satisfied until that was done. And that would be the only reason I would go back. But right now, I'm looking forward to our CBS career this year.
Well, those are professional players and dealing with some of the personality that they have. What did you find the best leadership style to motivate them?
You know, I think, you know, you deal with a lot of people. I never looked at any player when they came in there as based on how much they made, how popular they were. You know, I think we're all people. I mean, as long as we're all committed to something, I told them to check their egos at the door. And, you know, and talk to them as men. And I mean, I said to them, if you want to come in and ask the hard question, you have to be ready for the hard answer. Want to know why you're not playing? I'll tell you the way it is. And I had an open door policy, and many people come in, and we had to, at some point, agree to disagree. Because my only obligation was to do what I thought was in the best interest of that organization to win a championship. And so I think sometimes I wasn't always liked, but I was respected. And I respect people that make commitment. I respect the people that, you know, they throw their heart and soul into it. That's all I ask them to do. Just give me everything you got. You know, the great thing about America is there's a lot of choices you can make. You don't have to be here. It's not for everybody. What you guys do is not for everybody. You know, a lot of people like to have a little bit more security and a little more safer way of living, and that's fine. But there's some people that like to make a difference. There's some people that like to be able to step forward and step out of the box a little bit and do something that's unconventional, do something that's special. Now, you do that, you risk. You risk failure. You risk, you know, a lot of things when you try to throw your heart and soul into something. And I ask them to risk that. And I think if you put together the right combination of people, you can be special. And really, to me, the very fiber in this country. So I just say to you, hold your heads up high. Be proud of this organization, the Association of North Carolina State Farmers. And I support you. I admire you. I salute you.